And for the news today, I would say let's go into space as well, which now currently NASA, which also a launch Artemis 2 mission, which sent 4 astronauts to do a mission to moon as well, which this mission take place around 10 days as well. After 10 days, they will return to the planet Earth as well, which on Thursday evening, a Mission Control Houston, which also preparing for a Artemis mission too, as well. Also, which they took off from, from Earth on 6:35 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, as well. And also, which marks the inaugural crew flight of NASA's Artemis program, which a long-term plan to return humans to the moon, and also eventually a lunar settlement after a lifting off top of a towering space launch station rocket, which the astronaut immediately began putting a onion through its pace, which including taking their onion spacecraft for a 70 minutes for a manual test drive, which is called proximity operation demonstration as well. Which this mission, the Artemis 2, which this mission after a Apollo era, which in Apollo era have a astronauts go to the moon, which is very long time ago, and also after 4 astronauts took off from Earth, which range of timeline, which is orbiting Earth, which travels from low to high Earth orbit at first, and then a remaining rocket parts separate from the spacecraft, and also the crew execute docking memo to prepare its translunar injection. And for day 2 to 5, which also en route to the moon, which a Onion's main engine setting it on a path to the moon, and also a crew, which also astronauts within this mission, 4 astronauts, test a communication through a space network, which can they communicate with them, or the signals are good, like that. And also a spacecraft also enter a sphere of influence. And let's go for day 6, it's a historic flyby, which also a lunar flyby and observation began. Also, Onion makes a close approach to the moon, and finally, mission reach maximum distance from Earth as well. And also next, from day 7 to 10, which is the day that I'm heading home, which the Onion begins to return the journey, completing a precedented figures, which also 8 path figures, and also crew going to conduct a manual piloting demo. Also, lastly, a spacecraft maneuvers towards the entry, also splash down onto the planet Earth as well. Currently, also, which the Artemis 2 mission, which now in day 2, with now current time, which is in 2 days and 15 hours and 3 minutes, and also 2,507 miles per hour, which also a velocity, and also distance from Earth are around approximately as well, which is 161,978 miles from the distance from Earth, and also lastly distance to the moon, which also currently around a 116,481 miles per hour. These information are updated currently at 9:38 a.m. Eastern as well. And here are the crew members for the Artemis missions. For first one, it's Reed Reisman, also commander as well. Next are Victor Glover, which also pilot as well. And also for the next 2, it's our mission specialist as well, which also Christina Croce, which also a NASA astronaut, which also became the first woman to leave the Earth orbit. And lastly, it's Jeremy Hansen, also specialist, which also from a Canadian Space Agency astronaut which also making him as a first Canadian to fly to the moon as well. And that's it for the news for Sunday, April 5th at 7 a.m. Eastern.